So we actually see how Caesar and Judge created a new lab called the Neo-Mats, which now they can do whatever experiments they want. Sort of like the Neo Marines that Seth had created on film C. So here's the story right now of where we left off. So right now, Satomaru have heard that Kizaru is actually on his way to Egghead Island, which he heard from Mitsui, who actually knew that they actually sent him over to Egghead Island, knowing that it considered to be distant from the severe than Ohara, which right now we knew how things would have been a whole lot worse. But there are two similarities. They actually knew that it has a defense mechanism that can defend the island, knowing how they actually knew what's going to happen, by which they're going to figure out what to do when the island actually going to destroy it, knowing how they're going to repeat history of what's going to happen, which the people are going to evacuate right now. Meanwhile, on Building C, we see Usabe is actually still turned to stone. Only Frankie only has his right side frozen, but not his left. Knowing how he have actually was partly paralyzed, but we see what else that he did, knowing how Paragoras is trying to stop the snake. But the explosion actually happened, but we see no one didn't stop her. Meanwhile, on Building A, we see Robin's group heard the explosion, knowing that someone is going to be alright. But knowing how everyone have actually heard what actually did happen on someone else. We see how he attacks him, but thanks to the exoskeleton that he actually have, it'll be much easier for him to battle. But knowing how Luffy's group is actually trying to figure out what they're going to do next, knowing the fact that the S-Bear and S-Hawk actually have actually battled them, but forgot that the S-Hawk is actually gone, knowing where he actually could be, in which he actually knew who that he's going to attack, by which Luffy told Kaku to actually find Zoro, even though that he's actually calling him Usopp, which denotes is similar. We see how he is battling the S-Bear with Lucci, in which we knew what actually has happened, knowing how it will set into motion 3 months ago, but we see Bonnie, who still broke down in tears, have actually learned the truth about her father. But back in the Tra, get the names mixed up, knowing of how Vegapunk is researching the Void Century, knowing how CP5 have tried to verify the tip, but the investigation leads to nowhere, in which their ship has mysteriously disappeared when they tried to leave Egghead Island, in which same thing happened to CP7 and CP8, which they have not returned from Egghead Island. But knowing what the 5 elders have learned about what has happened, we see them sending CP0 over to Egghead Island. Of course, we see how the five elders are on their way, knowing that Saturn is headed over there with Kizaru, as they are actually going to raise the level, which is the total war that actually happens, in which the Straw Hats have actually arrived as well, knowing how the chains of events will actually occur, knowing how things would shock the world. But the recap of what's actually happened with Shaka being killed, which Vegapunk as who actually did. But we knew that it was actually revealed to be York who actually did it, which she didn't realize why she didn't get turned to stone. But it turns out that she wanted to be a celestial dragon, which of course she said that Shaka is dead now, knowing how the world doesn't need more than one, but we knew how she wanted to become more powerful than Vegapunk herself. So right now we saw things did actually happen. Of course, Caesar and Judge created their own lab, Neomad, plus the fact that York turned out to be the traitor who actually killed Shaka and say that she wants to become a celestial dragon, knowing how the events happened 3 months ago, in which the world needed more than one of them, which she wanted to become even smarter than Vegapunk himself, knowing how she will betray him and will take over what's happened. So right now we're going to see what's going to happen on the next chapter next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Until then, this is Anime Guy 100 here saying signing out. Laters, and be safe.